I was basically. Hi, I'm hypersaturated. Also, hello. I usually don't turn my mic off when I unplug it, but lately I've been doing that. So I've been absolutely muting myself. That's not the right one. Hey, hi everyone. I am in Technicolor. Boy, tell you, everything has a color in this. I think I said while I was muted that I think I'll have to like correct this in post production. I'll have to download the video and correct it because I can't do that easily with a DSLR camera like behind a monitor. That's not going to happen. So, this is a very bright live stream. I am doing well. Thank you, Liliana. Yeah, is it? It seems okay. The camera's white balance is kind of starting to kick in. Sort of. Hello. Yeah, as per usual, we'll see if a couple more people show up and stuff because people usually trail in. But I've spent today talking to a friend of mine who's discovering her MBTI type, and I do a lot of MBTI stuff for writing, so we've been having a good old time. It is the new camera. I was just about to say that. I believe this is the first live stream with the new camera, which would explain why I went in with things a little oversaturated. At least from what my monitor looks like, I'm like, it looks like I have some coral lipstick on, and that is not the case. You're right about the holding up a piece of paper for the white balance. Is there one within reach? That's a strip of cardboard. Let me see if this works. It looks great. Oh, good. Then maybe I'm just paranoid. See if that adjusts. It's trying. We purple, we better. I mean, if it looks great for y'all, then I don't care what it looks like for me. How are we all doing today? We are just sitting here and we are chilling because I have nothing else to do while I wait for the PC to come in. Oh, good, good, good. It hasn't, I mean, this is what, like the third live stream I've done. So I haven't had any technical issues with this PC in live streams yet. But just in case, since my PC seems to be progressively worsening, if this does crash out, I'll just post a new link on Patreon and we'll hop back on and we'll, continue as per usual. But, I should probably be a good YouTuber and mention, in terms of fundraising, we are actually a little under $350 away from the goal. And it's only been a day or two. I'm crying on the inside. It's fine. I know. And it's going to be like by far the best computer I've ever had. Like when I click things, they will immediately open. I don't know how I'm going to handle that. That's a bit overwhelming. I'll probably be drinking a lot because it's that time of year, allergies, my throat is dry as hell, and I'm trying not to cough all over on live stream, right? So I'll probably be drinking water a lot. Liliana, your rent is slightly more important than my computer. Boy, I tell you, I'm really excited at the idea of reading the book on camera. But also, I've said this in a couple of places now, but I don't think any place big and official. I kind of committed to the book thing before I knew the word count. And then I looked up the word count and I was like, that's 500,000 words that I'm going to read on camera. Yeah, that's more than I thought it was. I was like, what? It's like a nice big long, epic fantasy novel. What is it? 120K? Maybe 130. Yeah. If anybody follows Markiplier, he did something similar a long time ago when he finally made his calendar. And he was like, I will hand sign every calendar that I sell. And then he sold 30,000 and had to cap it off. And then he spent like 2 weeks in a warehouse for 8 hours a day just signing calendars. That poor man's hand. And now I sympathize. Len, which book? The Modazushi, the Untamed novel? Yeah. That's what I've heard, that it doesn't feel that long when you're actually reading it, that it kind of zooms on by. Which wouldn't surprise me, honestly. Claudia, just water. Yeah, just water. Just water today. Actually, I probably could have busted out some of the cheap Hannibal wine for today. Because I'm going to have no other way to use it for the next, 3 weeks until the PC gets here. Oh, Liliana, you're loving the Hannibal reactions? I am having such a fucking good time watching Hannibal after all these years. I'm having so much fun. It's so good, y'all. It's just so good. And it's so well written. And it's so well acted. And it's just everything. It's I was surprised. I was kind of surprised that Hannibal got picked, because in the YouTube vote, just the general YouTube vote, Sense8 came in first by a pretty decent margin. Like it landed in first early on, and it stayed in first for quite a while. So I was expecting, I didn't know if patron vote would reflect the general YouTube vote, but there was such a high margin that I was like, surely. And then Hannibal won by 2 votes. Oh, Leo. I don't believe I'll be reading out loud. I mean, I'll be reading parts I find interesting out loud. And actually, the odds are pretty good that I'm going to find a lot of things interesting. So I will be reading a lot out loud. But I'm not going to be reading every single word out loud. Watch this be famous last words, actually. Petra, if you like crime shows, like the really intense crime shows, like Broadchurch or True Detective or The Killing, stuff like that, you would like Hannibal. A lot of those vibes. There's just the horror edge to it, especially with, the gore and other very unpleasant things. Oh, Liliana, yeah, not a live reading. Well, because also I haven't read it, So I don't think my poor ADD brain would be able to read it out loud and actually process it at the same time. Plus, I've never done any live readings before, and I would be batshit insane to start with a full novel, let alone something that's like 500,000 words. Claudia, no 500K word audiobook? As amazing as that would be. Yeah, the funny thing is, Misha, is that I would be down for reading the dirtier parts, but I would not be able to keep the humor out of my voice. Like I would have to make it sound funny, if that makes any sense. I wouldn't be able to just do a serious, no laughing reading out loud. I would have to make it sound hysterical in some way or another. Len, there's a translation in Spanish of Motozushi? Damn. Leo, I'm really interested to see how the more explicitly read with me like live stream episodes go. Because like I don't plan on like the point isn't going to be okay, everybody sit down and read this same section of the book with me today, but more of a like you can, or if you're reading something else, that's fine, or if you need to study, or if you just need some silence for an hour with me popping up every now and then to say something. I plan on letting it be kind of like a chill vibe session sort of thing with my occasional histrionics. Hi, Argon. I'm glad you could make it. Nova, is the audio drama really that close to the book? Like, seriously? I keep hearing that the audio drama is just so fucking good. I would imagine that they would kind of have to leave some things out of the audio drama unless they're literally going to do the entire thing, which is a tall order. Yeah, I heard, Jessica. It's the same voice actor for Wei Wuxian who did the dubbing for The Untamed is in the audio drama. I'm extremely excited about that aspect in particular. I'm not surprised that they would fade to black on the sexier parts in the audio drama. I mean, one, I kind of expect that because it's a Chinese culture thing, but also I don't know, I just wouldn't expect them to. It'd be like, well, no, I just wouldn't expect them to actually act out the sexy parts. And I imagine that would be difficult to pull off from a voice acting perspective and description perspective. And I think it would be tricky. Leo, you good? You calm? You need to spray some water on your face? You all right? And yet it still sounds promising from the descriptions in the chat right now. I am such a bad host. I don't even turn down the volume. Thank you. On my own damn phone. You're a podfic person, Rast? You create podfics. What is that job title? Is it literally podficer? Because that sounds weird. Oh, cool. You just did it for fun. Was it Modazushi or Untamed related, or did you make a podfic for some other stuff? Hannibal. I have yet to actually listen to a podfic. I'm not entirely sure why. Yeah, Claudia, I think if you make an adaptation of Modazushi and Ahuan isn't the cutest thing in all of existence, then did you really adapt Modazushi? I feel like that's the chief determining factor. That's the given. That is what everybody expects. That's the base level foundational expectation. We should definitely all look up Rast on AO3. I'm looking up Rast on AO3 later. Do you write Rast, or did you just do podfics? Yes, Argon. I already had plans to react to the chibi version. I already had those plans, which is why I didn't include it as a reward, because it's already gonna happen. Yeah, I think the entirety of the chibi version is like an hour and a half with all the episodes together. That was one of the reasons why I decided to make it a reaction, because it's short and it's cute as hell, and apparently it's also really gay, like really exceptionally gay. So I mean, sign me up. Hi, Saul. I'm glad you could join us. Yeah, if anybody has any questions about anything, this is a free-for-all. Untamed related, Hannibal, personal, channel, what have you. Anything goes. I just felt so bad when I made the decision about not really risking making reaction videos, and then that upset the whole schedule, and I didn't want to just have it be dead air for quite so long. So I threw a live stream. so that I could fucking do something. I haven't, Len, I haven't gotten into any fix for the Untamed yet. Usually, I watch a show or a film more than once before I get into fic. I am planning, though, and I have not mentioned this yet. Tomorrow, I am taking the kind of low key risk, and I am filming the rewatch of the first 2 episodes of The Untamed tomorrow. I'm filming those reactions, and I'm going to be extremely paranoid about it. And I'm probably going to have one eye on my recording software like the entire time. But I'm still going to do it because I really need to rewatch the series, especially if I'm going to be reading the book soon. I need to get it all down in my head one more time, especially all down in my head one more time, watching them all much close together and not spread out over the course of 7 months. So I am doing that tomorrow. That should go up next week, because I'm still operating on a 1 week delay for everything. I'm still maintaining that, especially with technical difficulties being what they are. I absolutely need that 1 week buffer. I am so excited to see the first 2 episodes again. I'm just gonna scream the entire time at the top of my lungs. Don't wear headphones, because I'm sure that they just tell you everything, that they just freely broadcast everything that happens over the course of the entire series. Oh yeah, Claudia, it's supposed to kick off a rewatch of the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And I especially need to be prepared if I'm going to read the book. It's absolutely that kind of series where, you watch it once and your head is blown off your shoulders, and then you watch it a second time and you pick up all the other reasons why your head should have been blown off your shoulders. It is absolutely one of those shows where you catch so much on the rewatch, because everything's so big and intricate, and especially for Western viewers, confusing, because you have names flying around everywhere and clans are everywhere. And unless you're real familiar with, oh God, I've just forgotten the name of the genre. Wuxia? Yes? Wuxia? Unless you're already familiar with that particular brand of Chinese fantasy, you're also super confused about the magic system. And so I'm really not surprised that I'm sure I missed fucking everything in those first 2 episodes. Did not know which way was up. That's what everybody says, Misha. Everybody is on like their 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th rewatch. And it's been out like a year and a half now? It aired in China in 2019, yeah? That's exactly what I've heard about Word of Honor, Rast. And that's been the sense that I've been getting. That Untamed walked so Word of Honor could run, fly, sprint. Oh, absolutely, Wang Xin. When you get all the good bits of Chinese culture from either Chinese fans or people who are familiar with Chinese culture, ooh, just finding out alone that rabbits represent gayness in China transformed so many parts of the series. Oh, good. I was right, Jessica. It did. It aired summer 2019 in China, and then I don't think it made it over to the US officially until early 2020. I am so excited for Word of Honor, y'all. Like, I'm like beside myself, especially ever since I found out that one of the guys from Advanced Bravely is in this. I was like, he had masterful gay as hell chemistry in Advanced Bravely. And I'm like, yes, get him to do as many BL series as possible. Please. Also, I've seen like a couple of, I don't even think GIFs. I think I've seen just a couple of screenshots of him in Word of Honor. And like, holy shit, the beauty. Like, he is super cute. He is super cute in Advanced Bravely. But like, I was kind of taken back seeing him in, you know, the robes with the frankly fantastic fucking wig and just all the ooh, ooh. I'm extremely excited for Word of Honor for many other reasons that aren't as shallow. But since we're talking about it, I'm excited for all the typical shallow reasons as well. There are untamed people in Word of Honor? Shut your mouth. Who's in there? Saul. Name names. The guy who played, I'm getting myself some more water. Renshu? Let me see. Let me look him up so I can place the name with the face. Ooh. Wait. Is the guy who played Wenshu like the other lead? Because I keep forgetting who the other lead is. I'm like, there's the guy from the Advanced Bravely whose name I keep forgetting. And then there's other guy. Oh, he's not the lead. He's a side character. I still welcome him though. He's still yeah, he can join the party in whatever respect he wants to. Word of Honor was based on a book too, yeah? Nova, what'd you finish last week that made you cry? Because Word of Honor isn't done yet, so I know that can't be it, I don't think. It is based on a book, yeah. Oh, Priest book. I've heard of Priest. Probably in relation to Word of Honor, but I know that name. Oh, that's what you were crying about. Another book by Priest, Saul. Guardian, Priested Guardian? That's why I know that name aside from Word of Honor. Yeah, Guardian is going on the list to be voted on for the next long series after Word of Honor because we all decided to bump up Word of Honor. So it's going to go Hannibal and then Word of Honor. And then after that, Guardian. I think Guardian's going to be the only addition to the voting list next time. Oh yes, word of honor spoilers. We are we are a spoiler free zone. Ditto for Guardian, and we're just generally a spoiler free zone. Right? I keep hearing how gay Word of Honor is, which, important information. But other than that, I hear like nobody talking about other aspects of it. Like if it's heartbreaking or if it's hilarious or what have you. Don't worry about spoilers, Rast. We've all accidentally said too much at some point. Oh, see, that's dangerous. When it's really gay and it's also a genuinely good show. Same, Liliana. I've had Word of Honor blacklisted for a hot second. I still don't entirely know how I wound up seeing a couple of screenshots anyway. I hear so many good things about Guardian, Saul. And honestly, it started out as it was a recommendation when I made that post long ass time ago for just all the BL series recs. That was one of the most recommended. And when I was looking into all the top recommended ones, Guardian sounded so up my alley and just so amazingly incredible that it was the only one where I was like, no, I'm going to do this as a reaction one day, even if I'm late, even if I wind up being so late. I don't care. It's going on the list anyway. Liliana, the wife and cats are good. I have the cats in the wife's room actually, so that they're not running around in here. Not that I don't love it when they, crash my videos, but when you're live like this, I want as few uncontrollable elements as possible. But the wife is good too. She's doing good. She's working overtime a lot, so she's pretty tired and pretty just exhausted from overtime. But other than that, she's doing good. Leo, usually when it comes to queer representation affecting real world change and governmental change, it affects that in that it affects public opinion. When you get some good, positive representation, that can start changing people's minds and hearts about the matter. And then people become more welcoming and accepting. And it's that kind of cause and effect. Like there's it's a domino effect. There you go. It's usually not so direct, which is why the Chinese government is trying to be, failing sometimes, but trying to be so strict on representation anywhere in media, is because they are aware that art can carry that kind of power, especially when something gets super fucking popular, like The Untamed. Everybody stop. The Nebulous Mistress has shown up. Hey girl, hey. And yes, going live is one of the guaranteed ways to get, your cat's ass walking across the screen. Once again, she drops in and drops truth. I would probably give it, in talking about China and queer rights, I would probably give it more like at least a decade, if not more, before we start seeing change. Because they are, yeah. I had somebody ask me that actually about if there were, if the Netflix version or the YouTube version, or if there's some version of the Untamed out there that's slightly shorter and just has little tidbits taken out. I had somebody ask me about that the other day. Completely forgotten who. But I hadn't had a chance to really look up and find the answer. That's the other thing I have to watch before I get started on the book. I have to watch the special edition of The Untamed. If possibly for no other reason than to see, extended gay. But I'm also really curious as to how they did that, as to how they narrowed it down to 20 episodes. Because that's cutting it more than in half. I have heard that it's not. Well, I've heard kind of two competing things about the special edition. One, that there's some stuff with Wang Xin that we didn't get to see in, longer Wang Xin scenes in the special edition, but also because it's only 20 episodes and they had to cut out so much that it's pretty abrupt, and that like even the extended gayness makes it not entirely worth it. I've heard competing things. Jessica, not enough new stuff to be worth it. I mean, if I wind up skimming through to the new stuff, I'm okay with that, since I will have seen it twice by the time I start watching it. That was exactly why I wanted to have seen it twice, so that if I need to skip, just skim over things to get to the good stuff, then I can, and I'm not losing out on anything. That was my impression, Misha. That they were just like, here, we took out everything non Wang Xin related and just handing it to you on a silver platter. Which, on one hand, I'm like, thank you. That saves either fans or me a lot of trouble, potentially, from having to go through and separate things. Who is. I'm going to mess up the name. Who is it? Shan Li? I do not recognize, or Shi Lian? I do not recognize that character name. Ah, Heaven's Official Blessing. Got it. How deep are they into Heaven's Official Blessing in the animated version? Have they adapted the whole thing? Or have they just started? Oh, Heaven's Official Blessing is super long as well. Why am I not surprised? Because that's the same writer as The Untamed. Oh, is Heaven's Official Blessing a book series? This would be new information to me. But I would love to be up and current on the Heaven's Official Blessing anime, so then I can just react to that whenever they drop a new season. That would be cool. That should probably be the second thing I add to the watch list. No, that goes on the short series list. My bad. Maybe that will go on the short series list next time. Whoa, wait. Heaven's Official Blessing, the book, is 3 times longer than Modazushi. Are you certain? It is 3 times long. That is longer than like the entire Harry Potter series. That's a good, I believe, 300K longer than the entirety of it. What does she, her name is her, well, the abbreviation of her name is MXTX, right? The writer of Heaven's Official Blessing and Untamed, etc. Does she do anything else except write? Like, I don't even dream about that level of productivity. The plot has so many plots. Is there an English translation running? Like ongoing? I can't imagine it'd be done. $1.2 million words for Heaven's Official Blessing, Wang Xian? There is an English translation. Damn. Do not underestimate the dedication of translators, and especially fan translators. Whew. Heaven's Official Blessing is on Netflix now. That'll make it really easy then. Because with a new PC, I'll be able to do crazy things like just record videos while watching Netflix as opposed to having to have it like play in VLC player, windowed, not even full screen. I'm so excited for this PC, y'all. Nova, you finished like the anime in 3 days with no sleep, right? Not the book. The book? The book. I'm I'm officially intimidated by you, Nova. Like I can't even. How fast do you read? The wife reads like almost twice as fast as I do. I mean, I'm a unbelievably average reader in terms of reading speed. I'm pretty much dead on the 250 words per minute average. The wife averages more like 400, and she's already ridiculous. Still, even with not much sleep, that's dedication. Yeah, see, I got really locked in to reading Harry Potter for the first time. I didn't read it for the first time until well, I had already moved here, so I was in like my late 20s before I finally read it. I got locked in on that series, and it still took me weeks to read it in its entirety. So like y'all are nuts. Like the closest I can come to that kind of mainlining of books was I remembered that's essentially how I read Captive Prince. I picked it up on a Friday and then like all of a sudden it was Sunday. And that was just 3 books. And one of them was fairly short. One of them's like I think the first one is like 65 70K. I think it runs on the short side for its genre. Rast, you are a Captive Prince fan. Did I know this about you? Did we know this? If we didn't before, we do now. We could talk about some Captive Prince. Oh, you read it after I wrecked it? My day is made. That is so awesome, Rast, because I tell people all the time to read and watch things that I genuinely think they would like and they never fucking do. And I'm like, but this would change your life. The wife is really notorious about this because she has to be in the right mood for things. My day is made. I love you so much, Rast. Thank you. It's amazing, isn't it? You don't think it could possibly wind up where it needs to wind up in a way that is even remotely, you know, okay and healthy. And yet, this bitch fucking did it. Ugh. Liliana, I'm an influencer now. Is this what it's like to be an influencer? People actually read the things you tell them to read? Ooh, Leo. Captive Prince is a trilogy of books. They started, I don't know which site, but it very much started as an online story. And it got so massively popular as it was going along. I don't think it was published until the third book. I think that happened. But basically, it started online. And when you read it, you're like, yeah, this would start online. Traditional publishers wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole. But it's a historical novel, series of novels with explicit gay romance, both as in it is on the page and also it's a pretty explicit book. But yeah, look up a blurb and oh yeah. The disclaimer I always give with Captive Prince though is that you'll read the first book and you'll get to the end of it and you'll be like, how the fuck is this supposed to turn into a love story that's not just another problematic as hell, we're romanticizing all the wrong things that we shouldn't be romantic. Like, how is this even remotely possible? And then the next two books do it. So if you finish the first book and you're like, what the fuck? Don't worry. I had the exact same response. That was actually one of the reasons why I kept reading, is because I was like, there's no way that she can do this. No way in hell. And then she does. Liliana, yeah, the world building and the political development and all the plot stuff in The Captive Prince is also really good. Like, it is exactly the type of quality that I've been like dying for when it comes to queer representation in books and queer love stories in books. Yes, Saul. It touches on problematic themes, but it's not a problematic series. It is just unafraid to be real risky and messy and a big ass challenge. I don't think very many writers could pull it off in the way that she did. But that series does get some misconceptions attached to it, usually because people read the first book and then they make assumptions about the rest. Ooh, Leo. I really need to actually buy the books, so I'm going to go ahead and say buy the books as opposed to reading it online. It'll probably be something you want to keep on your bookshelf anyway. Liliana, not like 50 Shades. Yeah, the exact opposite of 50 Shades. I love how we're all peer pressuring Leo into buying Captive Prince. Yes, C.S. Pacat. I actually have no idea how to pronounce her last name. I'm such a fake fan. I haven't looked that up. And actually, she has a new she finally has a new book on the horizon. Cause like she C.S. Pacat had that fencing comic that was also gay. She had that going, but now she's finally announced her new novel series that's fantasy. I don't know if it's gay though. I think from the description that I read and thoroughly can't remember, that it sounded like it could definitely go that way. But I'm not entirely sure. It sounds really, I remember it sounding so good, and now I can't remember what the fuck it was called. But C.S. Pacat is finally re-entering the chat in terms of queer fantasy. Because, like, the new one is absolutely fantasy, as opposed to Captive Prince was fantasy in the sense that it was historical, but it's not like our world historical. It's an entirely different, it's a second world book. It doesn't deal with our history. It's just stuff inspired by and cultures inspired by our history. Wait. What is this liminality book with gay pink haired vampires with antlers? I would like to sign up for this. Leo's bought Captive Prince. Livestream success. Oh, see, that's the sign, Rast, of something that's really special. When you can say it has a gay pink haired vampire with antlers, but then also that you read it in a day and cried at work over it, that's how you know. Oh, and a happy cry. I'm writing down that liminality to go stalk later. Liminality, TJ Nichols is the author. Ooh, yeah. If you've had a hard couple of weeks, Leo, Captive Prince is so satisfying. It's just so deeply satisfying on so many levels. It is exactly the kind of like, ooh, yeah, like you will understand when you finished it why I loved it so much, that it's like one of the direct inspirations for the book that I'm currently writing. Like it is that I worship at the altar of however the fuck she did Captive Prince. Me too, Liliana. Now I want to reread Captive Prince. It's been a second. I've read it like 3 times. At least 3 times. I think I usually read Captive Prince once or twice a year. I should really make it a twice a year habit, honestly. TJ also writes shifter books. Shifter as in werewolves? Were animals. Cool. Interesting. Apparently, I'm just going to be looking at TJ Nichols' bibliography when this live stream is done. Oh yeah, Saul. Captive Prince puts you through it. I mean, puts you fucking through it. That's why I read it in like less than 72 hours. Saying, Liliana, we've gotten all these great recommendations, and I have not just the Untamed to rewatch, but also I have to finish all the series that I have to watch for the next for the final installment of the BL series Rex. For the part 2 video, I still have 3 or 4 series to watch before I can make that video, and I plan on making that video and posting it while we're waiting for the PC to show up. So that's happening in the next couple of weeks. I still have to watch Until We Meet Again. It's 3 more series. It's Until We Meet Again. It's the History Trapped, and the one that I'm looking forward to the most, Sleuth of the Ming Dynasty. Those are the 3 ones I have left. I actually have a couple that, if I have time, I'm going to throw in on top of it. Cherry Magic and... God, I think it was the one about the morgue or the mortician or something like that the name escapes me. But there's another one that's like, I think, a bit of a mystery gay vibes, and I'm all down for that. I'm excited to finish Trapped. At the time that I asked for all the recommendations, the only BL series that I had started was the History Trapped series. And I only got 2 or 3 episodes into it. And I don't remember why I stopped watching, because it was a fucking great time, obviously. But for whatever reason, I never finished it. And now I get to. I'm very excited. Manor of Death! Thank you, Misha. Somebody wrecked me Manor of Death recently. And I've gotten more than one person recommending Cherry Magic. So if I have time, I'm going to include one or both of those. Until We Meet Again, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's a reincarnation story. I think 2 like very tragic, kind of Romeo and Juliet style lovers. They either died or they committed suicide, and they are reincarnated, I think, like 30 years later. Hence the title of Until We Meet Again. For whatever reason, the way people keep describing Cherry Magic, I keep feeling like it's going to give me Love Stage vibes. Just in terms of everything's really gay and everything's really adorable, but also like heartfelt and meaningful and funny and just delightful. I just keep getting Love Stage vibes, which, if you haven't seen, speaking of recommendations, if you haven't seen the anime Love Stage, do yourself a fucking favor and track down Love Stage and watch it. Oh my God. For me, it gave me just as many good, happy, gay vibes as Yuri on Ice did. I mean, Yuri on Ice is fucking god tier, but Love Stage is like right up there for me in terms of gay anime. Kelsey, hello. I'm glad you could make it. You can go ahead and throw us off topic. That's this entire live stream is just one giant off topic everything. I believe, because I never saw the second Fantastic Beasts. I only ever saw the first one. It's my understanding that they're just going to keep erasing Dumbledore's sexuality. That's my understanding. But I'm not up on the Fantastic Beast news. So if somebody else is and can correct me, feel free. Oh, don't worry about being late, Kelsey. It's very chill. How is the manga of Love Stage? Is it, doesn't it go on a lot longer than the anime does? I don't think they adapted the entire manga, which is a fucking crime. They should have, but they didn't. I'm not mad about it. Awesome. It's longer and it's gayer. Sign me up. Didn't they? I believe in the anime they hinted at um this one possibility of a couple of the supporting characters really vibing with each other. And I think I read that in the manga, they actually get their own arc. And that made me really fucking excited. Oh, but now I can't remember who the two characters were because I haven't watched Love Stage in a second. But if so, I am absolutely down. Oh my god, it's called Backstage. That is so appropriate. Oh my god. And yet so simple. Oh, of course it is. Jesus. Oh, bye, mistress. Thank you for stopping in. Ooh. Everything about Love Stage was adorable. So I would hope that Backstage follows suit. I'm trying to figure out what Liliana is intrigued by. But see, that's a big selling point for me, Rast. That's one of the things that I want to see more of. Older older main characters in love stories. Like not just between teenagers. Know what I mean? Oh yeah, what have we wrecked so far? So that I can just like put it in a pinned comment when this video goes up next week instead of just making people scroll through, you know, over an hour's worth of live stream. Captive Prince, as always. Captive Prince, Liminality, Love Stage. Love Stage. Kind of everything by TJ Nichols, actually. We should have a Google Doc to add books. Oh, Google Doc for book recommendations. Misha gets a gold star. That's such a great idea. Google Doc for queer books. Awesome, perfect, legendary, wonderful. I'll probably put that up when this video is made public next week. If it's anything like the fucking Untamed Google Doc, it's going to be 16 pages long. Has anybody read? Oh, what's it called? It's a new series. It's still ongoing. I can't remember if it's a trilogy or it's supposed to be longer, but it's Witchmark. I think Polk is the name of the author. To my understanding, it's like one of the new big things in traditionally published queer fantasy. I think it's historical fantasy. But I was finally able to track it down, and I haven't read it yet. But that's the most prominent name I keep hearing. Ooh, Liliana. Ooh, Liliana. If you go to the community tab for Gaywatch, there is a post for the Untamed Google Doc so that I can just get all of your recommendations in one place and everybody can see if the thing that they want to rec has already been wrecked. And it turned into a 16-page long document of all of these glorious, glorious Untamed related recommendations on everything from, you know, interviews to fics, of course, to just videos in general. It's massive and sublime. Who's my favorite LGBT author? Nova, do you mean LGBT author as in an author who is queer themselves, or LGBT author as in an author who writes, who has written queer stories? I mean, I could always give both. Let's see. Favorite. I mean, honestly, my favorite non-LGBT author who has written LGBT things, it's a boring answer, but it probably would be C.S. Picot. Like, this is how much I love Captive Prince. Author who has written queer books. Yep, C.S. Picot, kind of obviously. And see, this is the problem. Because I keep wanting to find so many... I keep wanting to read genre queerness, and that hasn't exploded the way that it needs to yet. That hasn't become the trend that it needs to. I will recommend one of the obvious ones, because she's great. Rainbow Rowell. She writes the Carry On series and everything. And the only reason I can't get into the Carry On series is because I really don't ship Harry and Draco. My life would be so much easier if I did, but I really don't. And it is extremely apparent that Carry On started as Harry and Draco fanfic, which is fantastic. And that's great. And I love that. I just really don't ship it. And so I had to put it down. But she has other books as well. And they're fabulous. And they're pretty much all gay, I believe. I don't think she's written a straight thing yet. Whoever the fuck wrote A Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. This is just a recommendation live stream at this point. But A Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, Victorian era queer guys. It's a YA novel. It's also kind of an adventure. It's a little, what's the word am I looking for? It's a little anachronistic in the way that sexuality is handled. It's a little, but like in all the best ways. Like in all the, yes, I will accept this and suspend my disbelief in order for this story to happen. It's so good, though. It's so good. I actually own a copy of that. I still need to read Percy Jackson. I have not read Percy Jackson. And I keep hearing so many great things about the author and about like the author basically doing what I want to do. You kind of like stealth into traditional publishing with more, mainstream, palatable, gay ideas. And then once you're in the door, you just blow the roof off the place with all kinds of queerness that you can get away with now because you're a name. I aspire to that level of awesomeness. Somebody write what down? Gentleman's Guide? I will definitely, that's going in the Google Doc. I'm totally putting in my recommendations as well for gay books. Ooh. Douglas Clegg, you say, Leo. Just gonna write that down over here. I had to go, Nova, I had to go on a bit of a spree before I started drafting the book that I'm writing because it's queer medieval fantasy. So I went on a bit of a queer fantasy binge. I was trying to track down books of those genre to, be more educated in that genre as well, and also see if anything jumped out at me. So I do have like a short list of recommendations that I've basically been sitting on that are totally going in the Google Doc. Yes. Oh yeah, Misha, this Google Doc is going to ruin all our lives. We're never going to have time to do anything ever again. Good night, Syrian. Or Syrian, however we pronounce this. 31. Thank you for stopping by. Sleep well. I keep hearing so many good things about Percy Jackson. Did they? I believe a while ago they tried to do a film adaptation of Percy Jackson, and I believe that failed kind of miserably. But aren't they getting ready to make it into a TV series? Isn't that getting a second chance as a series? I believe it is. I see that Josh Lanyon recommendation, Nova, by the way. Just gonna jot that down ahead of time. Saul, the Untamed Google Doc is a little bit intimidating. Slightly intimidating, not gonna lie. There's everything from the obvious to the not obvious. Like there are links in there to like the Chibi series and stuff like that. But there's also all kinds of niche stuff. Oh, it's there is a new Percy Jackson series coming out. It's going to be a Disney thing. And the author is directly involved. Music to my fucking ears. Thank God. Disney might actually do something right for a change. Tempo rubato, Leo. I got you. Right, Leo? The Untamed Google Doc was kind of amazing. I believe it was an Anon on Tumblr who they brought up recommendations, and then that gave me the idea for a Google Doc because I was getting wrecked so many of the same things. My thing, Rast, about Falcon and the Winter Soldier is I'm like, ooh, this looks really good with a lot of, gay superhero potential. But I'm like a big Steve and Bucky shipper already. And like, I'm so not a multi shipper. I am quite the opposite of a multi shipper. I'm extremely monogamous. So I'm like having to I'm stuck with Steve and Bucky at the moment. No pun intended. I just remembered the ship name. Marvel turned me into a multi-shipper for a little while, and then I settled into my shipping preferences, and I just became a monogamous shipper all over again. But so far, that has been the only thing to make me be a multi-shipper, even for a little while. No, see, Wang Xin, you love getting into 100K slow burn fix. That is the wife. The wife does the exact same thing. She mostly reads Harry Potter fanfic, and she reads fast, so she needs longer things. So anything 100K plus, and she's a multi-shipper, right? So she has been sustained on very long Harry Potter fic for years, for just the longest time. That's her jam. Me, I say it in the Google Doc. I prefer things that are 35K or less because then I can read it in like a couple of hours. But you can do a lot. You can do a lot in 35K or less. So for me, it's that nice sweet spot of enough plot and development to be really satisfying, but it's not going to take me a million years to read it. That's so funny, Rast. I'm the opposite. I no longer really have a ship that I prefer that involves Tony. Like, Tony and Pepper are serviceable enough for me for a, canon het ship. But other than that, and you would think, with my love for Tony Stark, you would think that I would have a huge ship that involves Tony, but it's the weirdest thing. I really kind of don't. It's kind of like me and the 10th Doctor. The 10th Doctor is my absolute fave, but I don't have a ship that I don't really ship him with anyone in particular. I don't know why. It's very sad. That's the last straw, Rast. We can't be friends anymore. You're leaving. That was the final straw. I definitely stopped caring about Tony and Pepper after the second one, I think. Like, I was like, oh yeah, this is nice. And now I'm like, okay, you're not doing anything with them really at all. They're just kind of there now. And yeah. I will admit, though, I have been meaning to kind of look into Tony and Doctor Strange possibilities. This is true. I will give you that. I haven't poked it yet, but I kind of like the possibilities. And I do. Oh, I am kind of a liar. I do also kind of like the idea of Tony with a, fully adult Peter Parker. Oh, Saul, yeah. No, that if you love Wei Ying, you also want to throttle him at least a little bit. Yeah, that just comes with the territory. That is not dissimilar to, loving Loki from Marvel. It's the same kind of thing. I don't think that's just part of the bag. Petra, you really like Tony and Doctor Strange? I mean, Robert Downey Jr. and Benedict Cumberbatch. There is a reason why I have been meaning to look into it. Yeah, Tony and Peter Parker. Ooh, are we starting the Loki love? Did I mention the right person? Because let me tell you, my love for Loki, it's deep and it's real. No, see, yeah, Liliana, you're totally right. Well, I do like the idea of Tony and adult Peter Parker, right? I really like that. But in terms of Peter Parker, the OTP is absolutely Spidey Pool. Absolutely Spider-Man Deadpool. Yes. I have been dying for one, Peter to get older, and two, for Deadpool to finally make his damn entrance into the proper Marvel movies where he fucking belongs, just so that these two people can meet. Because I love Deadpool, and Tom Holland is my favorite Spider-Man, and this just needs to happen for me. There is so much good shit for Peter Parker and Deadpool, for Peter and Wade, for Spider-Man and there is so much. Oh, there is so much great stuff for them. Oh my god. Ooh, that reminds me. I need to finish. They basically got their own comic. They got their own little offshoot side story comic. I think it's literally called Spidey Pool or something ridiculous. And it was outstanding. And I never fucking finished it. Actually, I think I never finished it because it wasn't even finished at the time. Ah, no, but see, that's the potential, Liliana, of putting Wade Wilson in a PG-13 movie. That's exactly the potential, because you will have Wade trying to be rated R the whole time, and he won't be able to. The meta humor possibilities. And also now I think Marvel and Disney have like gotten over themselves. And so I think Deadpool is actually getting ready to be introduced in the main Marvel series, Avenger, what have you. Listen, I became a full-on stan. I think we all did. I think we all became stans for Tom Holland after the lip sync battle. Because if you can't stand him after that, yes, that is the appeal of Tony and Doctor Strange. Yeah, it was it was my favorite one, wasn't it? It was Infinity War. It was the Infinity War movie that set off all the Tony and Doctor Strange fans, that really kind of created that ship, I believe. I feel like Tony is down. This is one of the things I love about him. I feel like Tony is down. End of sentence. I feel like Tony's just down. For like, okay, you want to smack my ass? Sure, no problem. Thank you, sir. May I have another? I feel like Tony's just down. See, thank you, Misha. Tony's just kind of cool with everything. Got the bi vibes on that man. Stop. The bi-pan fluid vibes on Tony Stark are astronomical. They are glorious. If it breathes. Yeah. I can see Tony Stark falling into the Jack Harkness omnisexual thing. If it's a hot alien, he's just down. He's just down. Oh, once again, I'm a bad host. Like 4 of you have been donating all this time? Hang on. This is ridiculous. Hang on. We were around 1650 when this stream started, and we are now at 1780 because you people are psychopaths. Oh my god. Hang on. And actually, I was meaning to scroll through the list of donations and personally thank people of $50 or more and just gush all over you. Like, Lisa is the latest person to donate. Fucking thank you, girl. Oh my God. And then, oh wait. Do I have I'm checking to make sure that the person who used to be the one who had donated the most is still the one who has donated the most. I'm scrolling through the check. Hang on. I believe so. Because I have not shouted you out for this, and you know who you fucking are. Yep, you are still on top. Everybody fucking thank Rast, who is currently the highest donor with $150. What the hell? I already left you a thank you on Ko-fi, but you just need to be thanked more. What can I tell you? And then let me see. As I keep scrolling. An OG follower, the Kosher Tribble, donated $50 the other day. And I thanked her personally. And then Leo, you absolute fucking madman, dropped another 50 on top of the 50 that she had already donated, making for $100. That I can't even with you. Amy B donated $100. Like, the number of people who have donated $100, I was not expecting this. And if I keep talking about it, I'm going to start to get emotional. But I am going to name y'all because it's absurd. Kat donated $50. Bix, my moderator, Bix girl, donated $50, all up out of nowhere. So many patrons in general. Excuse me, been trying to avoid coughing all this time. So many patrons in general have donated, and I don't even know what to say, honestly, because I'm over here telling y'all that you don't have to, and here you are. I believe patrons have donated, I'd have to do the math, but I believe that patrons alone have donated at least 50%, at least half of the total amount collected, which is stupid, y'all. That's ridiculous. Who are you people? Oh my God. Angel donated $50. An anonymous person donated $100. And obviously, since they were anonymous, I didn't know if they were a patron or not, but I'm trying to invite them to a patrons only live stream somewhere in the future. Izzy B donated $60. April donated $50. Jill donated $100. What the hell? Talethia donated $50. Like, there are so many. Another anonymous person donated $50. Like, there are so many people who are being so generous, and I just another anonymous supporter back in the beginning donated $100. It was like it's just ridiculous. And while obviously it means so much to me for all of the extremely apparent reasons, there's also the added thing of I always appreciate it as a fan whenever anyone who I follow and know and love has a fundraiser, I always really appreciate the people who are able to chip in a bit more, because it always made up for my impoverished ass, right? And I can only give so much. And I always appreciate the people who can and do give more. That's like part of the point, because I'm not going to sit here and ask people who are like closer in my financial position to donate it when they have rent to pay, like we brought up earlier, and all of that jazz. So just thank you, thank you so much. We are very close to the goal now. Let me hang on. What's that new number? What were we at? 1780? Wait. Kelsey, did you just donate again? Are these just like two brand new things that are coming in? Because we were at 1780 and now we're at 1880. Claudia and Kelsey, I haven't clicked over to the chat in a hot second. Everyone's screaming. Hang on. Claudia, you are here. You just donated $50. Thank you so much. That was so kind of you. Y'all have been sneaky donating during this stream. Girl, I really do. Yeah, Kelsey, you did. You donated just now, right? Didn't you already? Oh, I mean, we are now extremely close. We are about $130 away from the goal because of you psychopaths. What the heck? It's at like 93. Yeah, it's at 93% now. I have it where I'm looking at the dollar amount. I have it on the page where I'm looking at the dollar amount, not the one with the percentage goal. Hang on, let me open that. Is that 93 as of now? 96 as of now. I beg your pardon. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. The person who just donated left me a message. I'm writing down that request and I will message you later, because this donor wanted to be kept on the down low. So hang on, I'm writing down that request. I know it's in the Google Doc, which is where I'll find the link. But hang on. There it is. Okay. So I see you. I love you. I'll be messaging you later. So like currently, now we're at 98%. We were at 96. Kelsey. Yeah. I think we're about, because the total that it's telling me is over the past 30 days. And so that includes more donations than what I've been strictly accepting for the PC. So it's off by about $15. So I think we're like $35 away now. Yeah. No. between Misha and, the girl whose name that we debated for 5 minutes over how to pronounce. Yeah, so we're currently sitting at around 2030, around 2030. Y'all, a bidding war. Yeah. So apparently, when I hop off of this stream, I will be hopping onto a public stream. Like, the wife's not even home, so I can't even just hop from here to there yet, because she's not even home. She had to go take care of her mom after work. But when she gets here, if the poor woman has the energy, we will hop on a stream. She may have to just hop on real quick because she has had a very long day of overtime and her mom is sick right now. So she's helping out her mom, who lives like half an hour away. So she may just pop in for a couple of minutes to say hi and introduce herself. But she will still show up. And then, of course, I will get the cats out of their exile in the wife's room to get them on camera. But I will do that in a little bit, because right now I don't even. This is a big head empty moment, so I'm real glad I'm live in front of people while it's happening. Yeah, we're at about 2050 now. Leo, I swear to God, I told you in one of the thank yous that I left for you that one day I'm going to meet you and I'm going to hug you really, really hard. And I have now said it basically in public. So it is going to happen someday. Where do you live? Don't drop your address in the chat. Oh no, stream today is good for me. It's just kind of hysterical that I'm going to pop from one thing to another. My phone is lighting up with just all of these donations that are coming in, and so my phone isn't leaving me alone. I don't. Yeah. So apparently, in other good PC news, other than, we just funded it when did I tell you guys? I told you guys, I made the post on Patreon on what, like Thursday? So even if you take into account the running start that we got before the fundraising officially began, it's still less than a week. Right? Yeah. That's a thing that happened. That's a thing that happened. So I'm reading a 500,000K novel as a reaction series on camera. I've already broken it down. It's going to be It's going to take about 34 episodes. If I'm sitting and reading for an hour, I read 15K in an hour. You do the math into 500K. And of course, I'm sure there will be spots where I stop and I talk and rant, at length. So it may take more time, but that's going to be a whole ass fucking series on its own that I can kind of start whenever now, actually. And if it takes a little longer for my PC to come in, which, by the way, I don't have to wait for parts to come in for the PC that I'm ordering. They have it in stock. Extremely lucky, extremely fortunate to have found exactly the PC that I was looking for currently in fucking stock, because COVID has made finding certain PC parts a absolute nightmare. And so now, instead of having to wait for like 6 weeks for the PC to come in, it's going to be more like 3. And I will, of course, figure out stuff to do. Y'all want an unboxing video, really? You want a video of me opening a box and sobbing at the PC that I find within? This is the content that y'all are asking for? I mean, done. Absolutely. Yes. You know what? I'll make that a patrons only live stream of the unboxing, because you guys deserve fucking everything I could possibly give you and more. And so we will definitely make that a hangout session where I just unbox things and sob. Yeah. That's happening. I just don't even. It's already, I'm going to get sentimental on your asses, and you're going to sit there and you're going to take it because you're lovely people and you deserve this. So, it's already miraculous to me. I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary of Gaywatch. That's what the surprise live stream on Friday is about, because it's on the 30th and my 1 year of Gaywatch is May 1st. So I'm holding a little bit of a surprise party, and it's already miraculous to me that I have been able to heal from a mental and emotional place to get to the point where I could do something consistently, literally anything consistently. And in that respect, I'm just kind of astounded looking back over this whole year. But then to have the added just mind-blowing aspect of, and then over the course of this year, I have gathered patrons and people like you to this party, and you have been so unwaveringly supportive and understanding of my very particular situation. And you just give me so much every day. And that's why I do the most I can to try to give you all the things. And I know that a neurotypical creator can actually do a lot more, but you guys just y'all just fucking get it. You get it. And it is extremely surreal coming from a person who is convinced that I'm just, at one point I was just fundamentally convinced that I cannot operate at a level that would get me to certain places that I wanted to get to. I did not believe I was capable of that, just because I am not capable of doing all of the things that other people can. And then y'all showed up. And you were like, no, it's fine. It's fine. You can just do whatever. Do what you need to do and the amount you need to do it in at the pace that you need to do it. Y'all can yeah, that was like fine with y'all. And that just means a lot. That means a lot. And I can't fucking believe we hit the goal on a live stream. You people. You people. So that is my speech to y'all specifically. We're coming up on the 2-hour mark of this live stream. It's been, a good one. And I do need to take a second, collect myself, probably touch up my makeup, grab cats, see when the wife is going to get home to introduce herself. But I will be going on a public live stream sometime this evening, as per the rewards. And yeah, everything is happening. Everything I talked about in the fundraising video is happening one way or another. Somebody let me know that reacting to the Untamed behind the scenes stuff as a live stream has gotten other people caught for copyright. So I might have to amend that a little bit, but that's still obviously very much happening. I think there's going to be, I think reacting to just miscellaneous Untamed stuff is going to become a series of its own. Because like working through all the stuff in the Google Doc alone is going to take a second. And most of it isn't even fanfic. But anyway, all the stuff is happening for however long it takes to get it out. I am extremely grateful, to the point where I have head empty and I don't even know how to wrap up this live stream. But thank you for joining me during these kind of wild 2 hours. It started very chill and it ended in happy tears. We love plot progression. And I will see you guys in a little bit. I will give you a heads up on Patreon a little ahead of time before I pop up on a public live stream. Here, we didn't crash. Fucking thank God. So I'm guessing that we're not going to crash in the public stream. But I will see you guys maybe in an hour or two, for those of you that can make it, for the public party and cats and my wife and more tears and more thank yous and more appreciation. It's going to just be a nice live stream full of a lot. It's going to be a lot. But I will see you then. And I'm going to go put myself together now. So thank you so much for showing up. If you've been here the whole time, holy shit. And I will see you extremely soon on the public live stream. Bye.